Wow, what an exciting weekend of football in Week 14 in the 2017 season. I can't wait to jump into it. So why wait? Let's jump right into it, man. The Colts and the Bills, that turned out to be it was more exciting than I thought it would be, because usually with games like that, with all the snow and everything all over the place, you don't expect it to be a real exciting game. But down the stretch, let me just tell you what really excited me. You know what I'm saying? I want to say like I'm excited, like it was like I was jumping around in the house and anything like that, but Vinatieri making that field goal, let me tell you, that football was like a brick. And he made that field goal for the extra point after they went for two, and then it came back, whatever. And it's just amazing to me that Vinatieri doesn't get a lot of the credit for those Super Bowl wins, you know, with the Patriots, whatever. That dude is the greatest kicker. I know he missed another one later. He missed a field goal later on in the game, but that dude is probably he's the greatest kicker of all time, man. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. And I know it's very hard for people to give kickers credit, because I hate most kickers, but I have to give that man a lot of credit, bro. And I just wanted to make sure that that's said, because I don't think that they get enough credit for what they do. He changed Tom Brady's legacy. You know, it wasn't only the tuck rule, it was a lot with Vinatieri. So I just wanted to say that. The other thing I want to do is talk about this guy, LeSean McCoy. LeSean McCoy is a savage, bro. I don't think people realize how hard it is to keep your balance and run in the snow. For a lot of you guys, I don't, you know, from different, you know, West Coast, different places, you guys don't, some of you guys never even really experienced snow. That amount of snow that's on the ground right there, with them running in it like that, it's a very difficult thing for both sides, defense and offense. But LeSean McCoy, the way he ended the game from the way he played, I know a lot of people lost a lot of money for not putting him in their lineup with like DraftKings and, you know, other betting things, because you don't expect that to happen. And he really impressed me, bro. And I had to make sure, I said to myself, I got to make sure I give the Bills that love, because usually I'm very, very hard on them, because I don't like their coach. I think their coach is an idiot. And he just makes very, very bad decisions all the time. But LeSean McCoy was a guy that stood. Obviously, Joe Webb came in and handled his business after Peterman went out and, you know, that one dot. But LeSean McCoy was a talk of this game, man. The running, the way that the offensive line held up for him, everything like that, man. Very, very difficult to win in the snow. So I just wanted to point that out. This game was a lot more exciting to me than I thought it would be, because I was like, yo, mad snow. Kept flicking through the channels. It turned out to be a really good game. Cowboys and the Giants. This is what I have to say about this, right? This game started off pretty slow, to the point where you thought the Giants had a chance to win this game. And that's what makes me really disgusted with the Cowboys to begin with. Yeah, they blew the doors off later. Dez Bryant finally scored a touchdown. Everything was looking really good. They had to win this game. It was no way they could lose to the Giants. And this is what I don't understand, right? Why would they see Eli Manning coming back? I understand he's beloved in New York. Everybody, you know, really, really loves him and stuff like that. But he shouldn't have came back, bro. He just shouldn't have. He shouldn't have came. He should have just stayed on the sideline. Let Geno Smith go out there and do whatever he's gonna do. Possibly take a look at the rookie that's there or something like that. Because, you know, him coming out and this beat down like this, and then if he stays in for the rest of the year, it's only gonna get worse. He doesn't really have a lot around him, and I understand that. But even when he had decent pieces around him, he wasn't playing well, which is Eli Manning. But it's just at this point embarrassing for a two-time, you know, Super Bowl winner, two-time MVP Super Bowl winner to be going through this right now. I don't think the Giants are handling this well at all. I think it's rather embarrassing for his legacy with the way that this is going on. To stop his streak, bring him back, then he gets destroyed. It's just really, really bad. And I don't think that that's fair to him. I don't think it's fair to the New York fan base. If you're gonna make a move, regardless of what you try to put on Ben McAdoo, just let him stay out. Let him stay out. And then if he decides to play somewhere else, you wish him well. You know what I'm saying? Same way with Joe Montana going to Kansas City. Like, you got to let these guys go. You know, once you make the decision, because this is just really, really bad. And that's all I was looking at. I knew the Cowboys were going to win this game. I bet the Cowboys big. I forgot what the line was. The line wasn't too much, but I won a decent amount. But you just knew the Cowboys, they cannot lose this game. So you know that they were going to win. It's not like, you know, Eli Manning, when he goes to GmiasWorld over there, you know, with Dallas, he usually does whatever he wants back in the day. But, you know, he's home. He's not feeling like he's the man anymore. A lot of things were going on. I don't think it was fair for them to put him back in. I think he should have just stayed out. I expect him to not be there next year and to move on to wherever he wants to go. Lions and the Buccaneers. I heard an interesting stat about Jameis Winston, that he has way more turnovers than the games that he started. And I never realized how much of a turnover guy this guy was as a quarterback. And now I realize that the Buccaneers are screwed with this guy. I don't know if he'll change up his ways to become a better quarterback. I did like Jameis Winston coming out of college. I thought he would be something that he hasn't turned out to be as of yet. But those kind of stats, bro, they follow you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, it's just ridiculous at this point. And then he just shows it every time. Like, the dude comes out and just start throwing picks. Like, you can't do it. He'll fumble the ball, throw a pick, and then, he'll come back sometimes and make game-winning drives. But you can't put your team in the position that this man has continued to put the Buccaneers in. Regardless, I don't care, bro. Like, it's craziness that's going on over there. So I just want to say, I don't know what his future looks like. The Lions, what can I say, bro? They almost blew their lead. You know what I'm saying, bro? Matthew Stafford started doing wild things, but at the end of the day, Golden Tate is turning out to be a very, very solid receiver for that franchise. And who would have known that Golden Tate would be able to replace Calvin Johnson? All right, me trying to say that, I couldn't even get Calvin Johnson all the way out. You can't replace Calvin Johnson, but they're playing well. Congratulations to the Lions on that win. Raiders and the Chiefs. The Raiders suck. Derek Carr, I think that I don't know. I from last year to this year, it's like night and day. I think he's just an overrated guy at this point. He got his money, which I'm very, very happy. Happy for him and his family. He's playing horribly. I don't know what's going on. Michael Crabtree fumbling the ball. Like, the Chiefs had, the Chiefs needed to win this game. They did. All those points came in the fourth quarter for the Raiders, by the way. They're supposed to get shut out. Marshawn Lynch started it off, with that run or whatever. He did his usual handshake with his linemen and stuff like that. But yeah, the Raiders they look really, really bad. I don't think anybody expected them to be this bad because they probably expected Derek Carr to be better. And Derek Carr has played like hot trash on a skillet. And, again, I'm just happy that he got paid because if you're trying to get a contract year with the way you're playing right now, you're not getting anything. So congratulations to the Chiefs for coming out and finally doing something right. 49ers and the Texans. Garoppolo, he made me actually enjoy watching the 49ers game. And it's been a long time since I've been able to enjoy a 49ers game. Obviously, Tom Savage was hurt. He thought he could come back in the game after clearing concussion protocol. They grabbed him, kept TJ Yates out there. I thought TJ Yates might be able to do something. Turned out I was wrong. But at the end of the day, Garoppolo looks really good. I do think that going into the year, next year, with Garoppolo as a starter, good offseason, the 49ers making a couple moves in the draft. 49ers might start to get back to where they used to be. So we got to wait and watch that and see how that works out. Packers and the Browns. The Browns almost got... Yo, listen, I was tweeting this out. Yo, they almost got their first win of the season. Then we looked on the sideline, and guess what we saw? Hugh Jackson. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you already know you finna lose the game with that guy on the sideline. You finna. Like, notice what I'm using. Yo, shout out to my southern dudes out there. New Orleans, everybody, Louisiana. Bruh, this dude finna lose the game. Hugh Jackson is a wild savage. And when you look at his face after they lost, it's like, he's like, yeah, I'm used to this. You thought you listened to a Drake and Future song. You're like, I'm so used to this. Like, what are you doing, bro? How do you not pull this out? You know what I'm saying? How do you not pull this out? This is so ridiculous. How do you not? And I know you're going to probably say, yeah, it's not his fault. Whose fault is it? At some point, you got to look at the coach. They fired the GM, all kind of stuff. Bro, this guy, Hugh Jackson, bro, if he would have chose to be the Giants coach, I think the Giants right now would be the number one team in the NFC over the Eagles. And I'm just saying that because just based on the way McAdoo, the gel in his hair probably started to mess with his brain. He was one of the most horrible coaches ever in New York history. He sucks. But the Browns should have pulled this out. I'm very, very disappointed in the Browns. Very, very disappointed in Hugh Jackson. Very, very disappointed in the janitors that work for the Browns. Like, that team just, yo, they suck, man. Are they going to really go 0-16, though? We got to start watching this. I got to go, is it possible? It probably is. They have no confidence at all at this point to lose that game. So we'll see what happens as far as that goes. The Bears and the Bengals. I had somebody, I was doing a live stream. If you guys don't know, I do gaming on my other channel, GmiasWorld. And I had somebody tell me that Marvin Lewis is not the problem. They said, they gave me some other kind of stuff. Oh, is this. Okay, let me just tell you something, right? When one thing is a constant in an equation and everything around it changes, but the same result happens, it's the constant that's the problem. The one thing that I could tell you that hasn't been changed over like however long he's been a tenured coach there in Marvin Lewis is that they've lost. You see what I'm saying? No matter what's going on, they've lost. But they used to be a good regular season team. Now they're getting beat down by Trubisky and the Bears, bro. Now it's an issue. Now we have to look at it like, all right, we got to figure out if Marvin Lewis is the right guy for the job. See, this is what I would do if I'm ownership, right? I would try to figure out, like, all right, let me see what's been going on for the last couple of years. At least the last couple. We've been losing games that we shouldn't be losing. We've been, competitive, but there's been a lot of extra stuff that shouldn't be going on in the locker room. It's as if he doesn't have control of the locker room. What are we doing right now? Do we have a coach that's a leader of men? Because these guys are savages. I don't know what they're doing. Most of the time, they're just doing whatever they want. They don't really, maybe they respect them, but they don't show it on the field, bro. Because if you respect your coach, you don't go out there and do the stuff that this team is doing right now. This is embarrassing, and I know Andy Dalton sucks. He should probably be cut by the time this recap is done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cutting bait with that guy. I don't care if he's an all-pro. Bro, anybody could throw the ball up to A.J. Green, bro, and, he's going to go up and go snag it every now and again. It's just embarrassing for the Bengal fans. I definitely don't approve of it. I don't appreciate what this man has done for the franchise. Marvin Lewis and Andy Dalton, both of them, they just need to both leave together holding hands, bro, and just fade away with the music going on. Like, they both suck. And that's pretty much all I got to say about it. Trubisky went out there and was playing like he was Joe Montana. I don't know what was going on, man, but the Bears winning that game doesn't really mean anything for the Bears. Obviously, they're not making the playoffs, but, for their mindset, it does matter. As far as, like, doing anything, it doesn't. But the Bengals are just there to get beat on at this point. So anybody that has them on their schedule, have fun. The Vikings and the Panthers, this was a really, really tough fought game. At the end of the day, I can't really blame Case Keenum. He didn't play well. He got sacked a lot during the last drive when they had the chance to, try to do something. But Cam Newton with that read option, man, 60-something yards? Like, that was the game. The defender, the safety that dove on the ground like a moron, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you read and you know what I'm saying, the linebacker on the outside has to do his job. You got to do your job as a safety. You can't dive on the ground and not tackle Cam Newton. He's not a little guy. The dude is huge, bro. He's a linebacker playing quarterback. He's not going to drop on the ground just because you dive at him. You know what I'm saying? This is not Madden video game. Like, bro, what are you doing? That was the whole key of the game. But all in all, the Vikings defense played well, but it was Cam Newton just made plays. When we get this kind of Cam Newton, when he's utilizing that college offense like that, they're nearly impossible to stop. If Cam Newton plays like this every game, the Panthers probably would very, very rarely lose games. They would have already had if he played like this in the Super Bowl against the Broncos, Cam Newton would have a Super Bowl ring. And all history would be repeated because, not reversed. I'm about to say, I don't know why I'm saying repeated. It would be reversed because Von Miller would have never got all that money. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything would have been changed. But Cam Newton, he turns it off, he turns it on. I don't know what Cam Newton we're going to get. I don't know what's going on, man. The dude's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I don't know what he's doing. But when he plays like this, the Panthers are dangerous. If he's somehow able to keep this going, right? To be that guy that he was and to run those plays and to make it happen and to play like that every game, well, that's actually too much. Nobody's going to be able to play like that every game, but to just make sure that he doesn't go too far off, that's a dangerous team, man. That's a dangerous team. We got to see what happens with the Vikings going forward, but that was a dangerous Panthers showed that they could play some football. Redskins and the Chargers, everybody knew that, Kirk Cousins was going to go out there and get dealt with accordingly. Everybody knew that. You know what I'm saying? It's like saving money with Geico. You already know what's going to happen. But, bro, I'm going to tell you this right now. The Chargers, that's a dangerous team. What are they, AFC West? That's a dangerous team over there. We know the Raiders suck, so we don't – let's see. Kansas City and them boys, we got to see what's going to happen. But the Chargers are looking real, real fierce right now, both offensively and defensively, so we got to see what goes on with that. Jets and the Broncos. Look, Jets suck. Look, okay. We're not going to act like we didn't know that regardless of the fact that the Jets were actually winning games early in the season, we really thought they were competitive. The biggest shining light of the Jets, in my opinion, Robbie Anderson. And that's point blank, period. We already knew what the Jets were. You know what I'm saying? We already know Todd Bowles is the coach. We know what they're supposed to be doing, but they overachieved. And I've been telling people that they overachieved and nobody wants to listen. And then you go and you get beat down by a Broncos team. They got a quarterback that probably can't even see, and he's throwing dots. Like, come on, bro. The Jets suck, but, they have made, some unbelievable strides this year, and we got to give them credit for that. But don't forget, that team sucks, all right? The Broncos suck too, but the Jets are just a little bit worse. Titans and the Cardinals. This game right here showed me, again, that Mariota, I don't know what they're going to do with Marcus Mariota, bro, but he's just not the guy. They got some good running backs, you know what I'm saying? Derrick Henry diving around like a savage, doing all kind of wild things. we got to see what happens. I don't know. I've been telling everybody this. I just don't know if Mariota's the guy. You lose to a Cardinals team with a coach in Bruce Arians that really believed in a quarterback that was named Carson Palmer. So and the defense and everybody, nobody's even playing well really on the team. Congratulations to Larry Fitzgerald though. He's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer obviously, but he moved to third in receiving in NFL history. But when you look at the Cardinals, they suck. So there's no reason that the Titans should have really lost this game. But when you look at Marcus Mariota's play at the quarterback position, you understand. You kind of like figure, all right, yeah, this guy kind of sucks. And then it kind of makes sense to you. And that's pretty much what this game boiled down to. Your quarterback cannot do what he was doing and think that you're going to survive. Patrick Peterson, bro, yo, that dude's got to, hey, that guy's kind of getting kind of washed up, bro. Well, Derrick Henry is a big guy, so I kind of, I don't know. This guy, Patrick Peterson, I don't know what's going on with him, man. I got to start really focusing on him, like full games and seeing what he's doing because he doesn't seem to be doing what he used to do in the past. So I got to start looking at him. Now, this game, the Eagles and the Rams, this was the game of the day. High scoring, lived up to the hype. The bad thing is, an ACL injury might keep Carson Wentz out for the remainder of the season. Now, if you're an Eagles fan, you probably threw up when you saw Nick Foles just throw the ball to an offensive lineman. You probably threw up more when you saw the old lineman try to catch it. Like, I don't even know what was going on, but it just showed you that without Carson Wentz being in the lineup, it's going to be a very, very hard-fought battle for the Eagles to compete and to do what they're supposed to do. And, Carson Wentz thinks he's a fullback at quarterback, bro. You cannot be diving, doing backflips. Like, eventually you're going to get hurt, bro. I don't know what he's doing. You can't – this is not college, man. This ain't college football. These boys are on steroids. They just haven't been caught yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, they hard hitters out here. You cannot do these things. And eventually it was almost like it was set up for him to get hurt, bro. Like, you continuously do it to the point where eventually it's not going to go your way. You cannot continue to do things like this. But somebody didn't tell him that. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get hurt, bro. And we have to figure out what's going to happen going forward with it. But the Rams, they fought, man. They fought pretty hard. At the end of the day, they came up short, man. They didn't make plays when it was needed. Jared Goff kind of choked a little bit. But Gurley looks really, really good at the running back position, man. That dude is hurdling dudes and running still. His hamstrings must be extra stretched. That dude must do yoga like at least 5 times a week, bro. He has to be. I've never seen hamstrings that stretched ever in my life. But at the end of the day, the Eagles, they sealed off the NFC East. But, without Carson Wentz, man, it sucks. It sucks to be an Eagles fan right now, bro. Carson Wentz not being there, man. GG's to all you guys, man. It's pretty much over if we're being realistic about it. So that being said, we got to move on. Seahawks and the Jaguars. Let me tell you something. The Jaguars for like 2 quarters, was it 2, 3? The Jaguars defense completely locked up the Seahawks. They showed that defensively they can play with anyone. Then all of a sudden, there's like, you know what? We're just going to leave everybody open. Like, what was going on? I don't understand what was happening, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Let me just make this very, very clear. The Jaguars are not going to go very far for one reason. Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles sucks. And that's the only problem that I visibly see with the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. Is having, because Blake Bortles, when you least expect it, is going to make the worst decision. So if I'm the Jags right now, I'm looking into finding another quarterback now. Because regardless of what happens this season for the Jaguars, they have a winning season for the first time in forever. You want to start looking now and trying to make a deal to get someone and release Blake Bortles. That is all I can say about this game. We know what the Seahawks give. We know that Russell Wilson is all Seahawks. He's the whole Seahawks team. It didn't work out for them. They didn't make plays. That's it. The Jaguars defense locked up initially. They let loose a little bit to kind of relax. Seahawks almost came back. But the Seahawks had no business being in this game at all. A couple broken plays makes the score look like that. Ravens and the Steelers. Oh my goodness. This was litty, as the young kids say. I don't know if they really say it, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it anyway. But look, the Steelers were able to pull this one out. I was very impressed because I thought the Ravens defensively would not do this. They gave up all these points. Juju Smith not there, tweeting out, talking about he has his helmet on, all this stuff going on. And they still gave up 39 points. But on the other hand, I was very impressed offensively. because 38 points. But at the end of the day, the Steelers had to win this game just to stay on, on track to do what they need to do. We all know about Ryan Shazier. Hopefully everything is working out well for him. They did FaceTime him after the game. We don't know what's going to happen with him yet. Everything is kind of like quiet, but I really just hope that that man is able to live and enjoy a regular daily life. I don't even care about football. All in all, this was a very, very, I don't even know where to start, man, but they played very, very well, the Steelers. Defensively, obviously you see the score. They didn't do what they're supposed to do, but they're missing one of the biggest parts of their defense with Shazier. He means a lot to that defense, which is why coming week, they play the Patriots, bro. Don't worry about the Ravens. The Ravens ain't going nowhere. I've been told you that. The Ravens ain't going nowhere. But the Steelers, though, they play the Patriots. Let me know who wins. Leave it in the comment section. Remember, you can find GmiasWorld on iTunes, Android, and iHeartRadio. I just want to know who wins next week, Steelers or the Patriots. Until next time, one love.